Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, Episode 2, Eye of the Beholder. The sun beat down upon the dry grasslands, casting long shadows across the rugged landscape. Hercules, son of Zeus and champion of men, walked with an easy stride despite the weight of countless adventures upon his shoulders. His broad frame bore no armor, only a lion's pelt draped over his back, its jaws resting upon one shoulder, a symbol of strength and victory. His boots kicked up dust as he followed the worn path into the village of Trachis. Trouble had a way of finding Hercules, even when he wasn't looking for it. This time it found him in the form of a frantic young woman sprinting toward him, eyes wide with terror. "Please, you must help us," she cried, clutching at his tunic. "The monster, it's taken another." Hercules steadied her gently. "What monster?" he asked, though he already had an idea. There were whispers of a creature in these parts, something old and hungry. He'd hoped it was just rumor. "The Cyclops," she sobbed. "It lives in the caves by the gorge. We've sent hunters, warriors, even mercenaries. None return." Hercules sighed. Cyclopes were rare, reclusive beings. Most were content to remain isolated in their caves, far from mankind. If one was attacking villagers, something must have driven it to desperation. He nodded. "Take me to your village." The village of Trachis lay half in ruin, thatched roofs burned or torn, livestock pens empty. Fear hung thick in the air. The villagers eyed Hercules with a mix of hope and desperation. Inside the council hut, he met with the village elder, a gray-bearded man named Gaiden, whose eyes carried years of wisdom and recent sorrow. "We've lost 12 this moon alone," Gaiden said. "It waits for us, watches the roads, snatches those who stray too far." "Why haven't you moved the village?" Hercules asked. "Where would we go?" Gaiden replied. "This land is all we know." Hercules glanced out the window toward the distant cliffs. "Then I'll speak to this Cyclops." A murmur swept through the gathered crowd. "Speak to it?" one man scoffed. "You'll be dead before you get close." Hercules only smiled. "Maybe, but I've faced worse." The gorge was a place of shadows and echoes. Tall cliffs rose like jagged teeth, and the wind howled through narrow chasms like a warning. Hercules moved with care, ears sharp for any sign of danger. He didn't have to wait long. The ground trembled beneath a massive footstep, and from the darkness of a cave, the Cyclops emerged. It was enormous, twice the height of a man, its skin like mottled granite, a single eye glaring from a broad, brutish face. It let out a roar that shook the rocks. Hercules raised his hands. "I didn't come to fight," he called. "I came to talk." The Cyclops paused, confused. Most who came here did so with spears, not words. "Why are you attacking the village?" Hercules asked. "You weren't always like this," the Cyclops grunted. "They took everything," it rumbled in a voice like rolling boulders. "Burned my trees, killed the deer, no food left. I warned them. They did not listen." Hercules stepped closer. "You're starving." The beast looked away. "I tried to scare them, but they fought, so I fought back." It wasn't cruelty, it was survival. Hercules had seen this before. Misunderstandings turned to bloodshed. "There's another way," he said. "Let me help you." Back in the village, the idea of peace didn't go over well. "You want us to live beside that thing?" one man cried. "It's a monster." "No," Hercules said firmly. "It's a creature. Like us, it wants to live. You stole from its land and it defended itself." "Then let it starve," another villager yelled. "Is that justice?" Hercules asked. "Or vengeance?" Silence fell. Eventually, it was Gaiden who stood. "If there is truly a path to peace, we must try. We owe our children that much." Over the next days, Hercules brokered a cautious truce. He led the Cyclops, whose name he learned was Argon, to a new grove north of the village, where food was plentiful and hunters did not tread. He helped the villagers rebuild pens and patrol paths, creating safe boundaries. It wasn't easy. Fear still lurked and tempers flared. But slowly, something began to change. Then came Salmoneus. The ever-opportunistic salesman rolled into Trachis, on a cart piled high with Cyclops repellent and monster-begone talismans. With a slick smile and silver tongue, he whipped the villagers into a frenzy. "You call this peace?" he said, pointing to a scorch-marked hut. "That thing lives a mile from your children." Within hours, a mob had formed. They stormed toward Argon's grove, armed with torches and pitchforks. Hercules intercepted them halfway. "You're throwing away everything we've built," he shouted. "He'll turn on us eventually," cried one man. "He's just biding his time." A rock whizzed past Hercules and struck a tree. Behind him, Argon emerged, watching warily. "I did not come to fight," the Cyclops said, "but I will not die meekly." Salmoneus was still smiling, but it faded as Hercules strode toward him. "You've stirred up fear for profit," he said. "Leave, now." Salmoneus backed off, muttering, "No one appreciates an entrepreneur." Turning to the villagers, Hercules spoke louder. "You wanted safety, you have it. You wanted peace, you've started it. Don't trade it for revenge." Gaiden again was the one to calm the mob. "We've made our choice. Let us honor it." Slowly, the villagers lowered their weapons. Later, that night, as stars blanketed the sky, Hercules sat by a fire outside the village. Argon sat beside him, chewing thoughtfully on a roasted boar. "You could have killed them all," Hercules said. "But you didn't." "I have no joy in death," Argon replied. "I only wanted to be left alone." "You're not alone now," Hercules said. "That's harder, but it's better." They sat in silence for a while, two beings from different worlds who had found, if not friendship, at least mutual respect. As dawn painted the cliffs gold, Hercules prepared to leave. The villagers gathered to see him off. "We can't thank you enough," Gaiden said. "You've given us something we forgot how to believe in." Hercules smiled. "Hope? Peace," Gaiden replied. The young woman who had first called him stopped him before he reached the road. "Will we see you again?" "Trouble seems to follow me," he said with a wink. "So probably." He walked into the rising sun, muscles rippling beneath the lion's pelt, footsteps steady. Another journey awaited, another wrong to right. For Hercules, there would always be monsters to face, some with fangs and claws, others with fear and hate. But this one had ended without a sword being drawn, and that perhaps was the greatest victory of all.